Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Do you know why in the past, like in 1950s and 60s, if you were a homosexual, or one was a homosexual, it was considered a liability, and you couldn't really hold positions in the government, in certain positions. That's why Edgar Hoover, the chief of the FBI, if you remember, he kept maps, folders on certain people with this kind of inclination, even though he was accused of being homosexual as well. The main reason was the possibility to be blackmailed. Like, for instance, remember when Bill Clinton was working with the intern in the Oval Office, a lot of people just brushed it and say, well, so what, man, he was having a little bit of fun. That's between he and his wife or his family. No, not really. Because if that would have been told to the public or not told the public, he could have been blackmailed by foreign actors. That's why Mr. Jeffrey Epstein files are important, not because Trump might have had some blah blah blah. Minors, not okay, But it was about infiltration by foreign powers into our politics in order to blackmail them. Now, this is one reason why a public figure is in danger, or the office of whatever that public figure occupies at that particular time, like Donald Trump, is a liability. Well, another one is big ego. Big ego is, or why big ego is because when you have a big ego, you can be easily manipulated, flattered, or hurt, and you can be controlled. Your behavior could be controlled by flattering or by hurting your feelings. In this case, and why? Is because the guy is going to act in an abusive way if his ego is hurt. What happened? Times Magazine, which is a piece of garbage, put on the cover Donald Trump's face. Let me show you so we know who's who, what's what. Right there, you see? And this is what it says. His triumph, right? The leader Israel needed, not United States of America, Israel. But we're not going to get into this garbage. How Gaza heals. Who hurt Gaza, by the way? These guys are just right there in your face. And what happened here? Why are you in Rumble? Okay, what's going on? Because I'm just posting a video on Rumble, actually. So you see this picture? Well, to be straight, this is not really a good picture. But why do you care? I mean, you're almost 80, you look like crap, you're 10, and you are not elected for your looks in the first place. But ego, my friends, ego. And what happened? Right here. They disappeared my hair. End quote. Trump says. The US president has bemoaned a Time magazine cover photo celebrating his role in the Gaza ceasefire deal, which is he was a tool for foreign interests. US President Donald Trump has taken issue with the Time magazine latest cover. He took issue with how they portrayed him, accompanying a story lauding his role in securing a ceasefire. Blah, blah. The magazine's Monday's edition described the truth triumphs, blah, blah, blah. And this is what he says. They disappeared my hair, and then had something floating on top of my head that looked like a floating crown, but an extremely small one. Really weird, he wrote. So this is his problem, is with how he is portrayed. His ego. His ego was hurt, that he, not his old, not that he works possibly for foreign interests. That's unimportant. How I look, man, they all have to portray the leader beautifully. You understand that? So from this to tyranny is just a step. He gets hurt. The Time magazine, I don't know, had a non-flattering picture of him. So is he a liability? Because I tell you why. If, let's say, tomorrow the Haaretz in Israel publishes a picture with Trump in a normal picture, which is ugly, he's not a handsome guy. I gotta tell you that. But hey, I don't care. He's got money. That's how he got the women. Get the money first and then the women. If you got the money, you got the women. But certain kind of women, that's the problem. Anyway, Trump, the Haaretz is going to publish with him like fat as he is, or I don't know, ugly that he is, old that he is, and they're going to solicit or elicit a reaction from this guy. They're going to control this guy. He's a liability. You can't have that. Have you heard Putin saying anything like this before? Do you think that he's always portrayed as a beautiful whatever he is? No? Do you remember when I said that his hand was shaking, holding that desk, and he's blah, 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 blah? Remember? What did he say about that? Nothing. Zero. Why? That is not why I am in charge of the Russian Federation. That's not why the Russians elected me, to look good. Instead here, because of the Hollywood, we have to look good. Nothing here or here, but we need to look good. Why? That's the level. You don't like it? But that's reality, my friends, unfortunately. That's why we had these bright public officials, public servants, called nowadays leaders, who lead us into a third world war. Do you think that Trump is doing the job for us? Do you think that when he gets in the office in the morning, says, or afternoon, or whatever he gets, oh my God, what should I do for the common American? What should I do for the American people, man? I love them so much. But I made my fortune by paying them as little as possible. That's how he made a fortune. So after you did this for about, I don't know, 60 years, all your adult life is how you make a profit, paying people less, because that's how basically you make your profit in business. The how do you call it? The production cost. They all look at the pay, the labor. That's part of the. The lower you pay them, the more, the less the production cost, the more profit you're gonna make. It's not the only one. Don't get me wrong. I don't know, be a baboon here, but nevertheless, all his life he made it by maximizing his profit and minimizing their profit, whomever. And now you tell me he at 79, he's working for us? All of a sudden, oh my God, all my life I make billions, which is a-okay. Fine. Very good. You're fantastic. Sincerely, he's fantastic in making money. But how did you make money? Do you think he was just giving money because he has, I don't know, a big heart? I don't believe that squat. What he's doing right now is working for interest and for himself. First, for his family. Second, first meaning his businesses with his family, and then with the big businesses that, what do you think he's got the crypto now? What do you think? Who do you think is manipulating the stock market? Not he, but he might give a clue to somebody what he's gonna say and what he's gonna do. And if that somebody goes on the stock market or tell other people down the chain of command to do certain thing on the stock market, they're gonna be very wealthy overnight. Hey, I'm gonna strike Iran. I made a decision. I will announce it in 2 days. If you have this pre-knowledge 2 days before Iran was struck, or right now with China, you're gonna be making billions of dollars if you invested a lot of money. So that's his prime interest, not you and I. We are collateral damage. It's like okay, whatever. And when that happens, he turns it like he started with that. He worked for us. Remember, big ego in politics, not good. In life in general, you have to have an ego. You have to respect yourself if there is something to be respected. And indeed, Trump has a lot of attributes that must be respected. He made a lot of money. He became US president in this society twice. He didn't get shot, like, you know what I mean? Yet, I hope he doesn't. Why? You know what I mean? He's in charge of a dynasty, a family dynasty. I don't think he works for us. I think he's compromised. That's the word. He's compromised. Big time. And I think he's going to do the job of someone who's have some information. I have no evidence, but I have a gut feeling, like women like to say. Gut feelings for them are facts. Therefore, I should be allowed from time to time to use my strong powers, or maybe I can use my white privilege and say I'm right. And everybody who's no, you're wrong. Oh, I'm not white. Oh, okay, I identify as white. Does it work? No. Okay. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.